Have you ever sat on a school bus seat and secretly thought, whoever designed this must hate kids? The seat feels stiff. The colors look dull. And the vinyl covering is hot in summer and cold in winter. It sounds like a ruthless cost-cutting decision, but the truth is far more ironic. That inexpensive-looking seat is one of the most sophisticated life-saving devices ever built. It isn't trying to be beautiful or luxurious, it's trying to protect. The problem is that engineering is hidden beneath materials so humble that almost nobody notices. To fully understand this sophistication, we have to move from material science to the history of color standardization, then into behavioral psychology, and finally to how different types of buses evolved. Every small detail carries a larger story. When you touch the vinyl surface of a bus seat, it may feel hard, but collision physics doesn't care about how something feels at rest. It cares about how a material reacts under sudden force. And here, the vinyl covering, combined with polyurethane foam, underneath functions like a static airbag. Polyurethane foam has a closed-cell structure filled with countless tiny air pockets trapped within a polymer network. When a child's head or body strikes the seat during a crash, those microscopic air chambers compress. Energy isn't transmitted directly into the body. It disperses through elastic and semi-elastic deformation. Some energy turns into heat, while the rest becomes stored within the foam's temporary distortion. What's important is that the foam isn't as soft as a sofa cushion. Too soft, and children would sink into the seat and slide during sudden braking, weakening the compartmentalization effect. Too hard, and impact forces would transfer directly into the skull, increasing injury risk. Engineers aim for a precise safety stiffness soft enough to absorb force, firm enough to prevent excessive movement. The outer vinyl layer serves another purpose. It doesn't grip, doesn't absorb moisture, and resists tearing. That might sound unrelated to safety, but it's crucial. A torn surface, sharp edges, or uneven friction would disrupt how impact forces spread across the seatback, reducing the uniformity of the energy-absorbing zone. In other words, that ugly seat is a carefully tuned component designed to behave perfectly within a few thousandths of a second, the exact moment when survival is decided. If the bus seat is hidden safety technology,
the steel
then the bus's yellow
energy,
paint is
while the
safety
rigid
technology
seat
on display.
Dangerous forces,
That iconic
leading
shade
to
isn't just
structural
any yellow,
fatigue.
it's school bus yellow. Standardized in 1939 during a national conference on school transportation. Why yellow? The answer lies in visual science. The human retina is most sensitive to wavelengths in the yellow-orange range, especially during low-light conditions like early mornings and late afternoons, exactly when buses operate most. Research led by scientist Franklin W. Dimmick showed that this color offers exceptional contrast against black lettering, making text readable from long distances and improving recognition while the vehicle is moving. The standardization also created symbolism. When every bus shares the same color, it becomes a cultural signal. Drivers slow down, pedestrians become alert, and children recognize a familiar, protective presence. Even the paint itself is engineered to reflect light in a way that keeps buses visible on cloudy days. Combined with durable interior materials like vinyl seats, the entire design follows one philosophy: reduce risk caused by late recognition. From exterior color to interior materials, each element sends a message to the world. This is a vehicle carrying lives that need protection. If you step onto a bus and wonder, why are there no seatbelts? The answer isn't found purely in mechanics. It lies in safety psychology. Industrial design uses a Japanese concept called polka yoke designing systems that prevent human error. In emergencies, a single mistake can become catastrophic. On school buses, the most dangerous scenarios aren't high-speed collisions, because bus design already mitigates those. But situations requiring rapid evacuation, fires, rollovers, or flooding. If every student were restrained by a belt, escape time could multiply dramatically. Simulations conducted by transportation safety agencies have shown that if even one student struggles with a buckle, the entire flow of evacuation slows down. And children, especially younger ones, can lose fine motor control when frightened. That's why the absence of seatbelts on large buses can be viewed as a proactive safety feature. It eliminates the possibility of becoming trapped. This isn't negligence. It's the result of decades of statistical analysis showing that the risk of delayed evacuation may outweigh the risk of injury inside a compartmentalized large bus. In other words, the missing click is a calculated choice, not a missing feature. But if large buses don't rely on seatbelts, why are smaller buses those under 10? 0.000 pounds required to have them. This is where the physics of large mass gives way to the physics of smaller vehicles. Small buses behave more like SUVs or minivans than traditional buses. Their lower mass means less inertia, which translates into greater changes in velocity during a collision. Compartmentalization alone isn't enough. Additionally, small buses often operate on narrow roads, at higher speeds, or carry specialized passengers such as students with disabilities or those needing extra support. These passengers may not maintain stable seating positions during sudden braking, making seat belts necessary for effective protection. That's why three-point belts, similar to those in cars, are used in smaller buses. They provide linear restraint and protect the head and chest during common crash scenarios like frontal and side impacts. The coexistence of two systems, large buses without belts and small buses with them, isn't a contradiction. It's adaptive engineering in action, each vehicle type optimized for its own unique risk equation.